Hello. This is video log entry 121. Currently it is about 1:30 p.m. CST. I said about, but I said the exact time. I usually do the, an offset of about 5 minutes typically, and round it up or down. But it's 1:35, so I usually ran down 1:30 at that time. But yeah. Oh wow, it's freaking bright. Look at that. No, I'm too lazy to edit this video, so I'm going to leave it as is. So, still haven't done my unemployment. But again, I said I was going to finish it by the end. I told myself, I actually wrote down on my board that I'm just going to, at the very latest, do all of my benefit stuff by tomorrow, basically, because tomorrow's Friday. So, I'm fine with procrastinating, and as long as it's not damaging, and I also have I had other things that I was doing. It's not like I was like not being productive at all. I was looking at I wasn't really productive today, but I went to the grocery store and I did that at the very least, and I went on a walk and I didn't really meditate. I had to tell myself to go breathe, because there are days where I have manic episodes. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if I have bipolar disorder, because yesterday I slept all day. I was fucking, I don't know, I'd say it was depressed. I was just fucking tired because my brain is constantly running and it doesn't know how to regulate itself, supposedly. So, I mean, and then the day before I was like, kind of like this, it was like ecstatic and I had a lot of energy and my brain was just constantly running. It didn't even give itself a couple of seconds to stop thinking. So, this happens a lot. So, yeah. So, another bright side is, of course, I was not surprised when I passed the police exam, but they finally sent me the email saying that I passed. And I'm like lottery number 360 out of 441 candidates that passed the exam. 400, sorry, what was it again? It was randomized, just so you guys know. It's not based off of the scores, so it's not like I had a really bad score or anything like that. Well, I mean, again, if I actually studied, I would have probably been one of the top. Definitely one of the top. I probably would have gotten 100%. I just was lazy and I didn't really study, and I knew all I had to do was just really just kind of use common sense, and it worked out. I didn't have to prepare for anything. But yeah, so yeah, I'm 361 out of 442 people. And that's cool and all. And like I said before, I'm thinking about getting an office job if they actually respond to me, because I did send them an email as well. So again, it was the online travel agency position, and I'm just waiting on them to actually give me a link and date and when we're going to actually have the interview. So it's just one online interview, and then supposedly you actually have an in-person interview. And I think maybe there's like this kind of, I'm thinking that maybe the reason why they haven't applied or responded to me is because they may have a huge influx of people, just because of the fact that they decided to have a building in Chicago for their business, or their branch, like a business branch in Chicago. So that could be that, and also maybe they found somebody. I'm not sure. I don't want to overthink it. I just sent them an email and all that. So it's like there could be a chance in which they actually found somebody and they decided to. I'm not sure if businesses do that a lot. They usually say that, oh yeah, we changed our mind, because they actually seem interested in I don't know. I don't understand it from their side, because all they could have. I told them, maybe it was the way I said it. I said that I'm fine with afternoons, and now they're just kind of waiting for everybody else, and they're going to start sending emails to them for the whatever particular week they're actually doing the interviews, to then send it to link plus a date and all that. Maybe they're doing it kind of modularly with a machine of some sorts, because they actually do have a machine, it seems like, because of the way you could just tell it was a robot that was talking, which could, I mean that's fair, because of the fact that it's just easier to do it that way. Well, it's templating. They were using templating. Obviously, they weren't. I don't think it was actual computer. I meant to say that. Templating is very common. Obviously, it's. Yeah. Anyway, so I'm just waiting for that, and I was just looking at the next steps that I have to do for Chicago Police Department. I had to make a. I don't even know what OPSA stands for. What does OPSA stand for? I had to sign up for the applicant portal. Did I do that? No. Isn't it a candidate portal as opposed to the applicant portal? Uh, okay, yeah, so I have to make an account. I still have to do my. I obviously I could have done my power test earlier. There was supposed to be one initial power test, just so you'll have a good idea of where you're at, and then another one for the finalized power test to actually allow you to come in to the police academy, so they'll actually have the right statistics to understand whether you're actually fit enough to go to the police academy. I haven't done the. I haven't. I'm just going to wait until the finalized power test because I know I'm fine. Like I don't even have to go to that. I consider okay. I'm going to keep myself active. I go biking sometimes. I walk a lot and I'm flexible. And that's one of them is to sit and reach. You do push-ups and sit-ups, and when I was in school, I didn't have any trouble with any kind of fitness stuff. So it's pretty much the same thing. So. And yeah, I forgot that they actually had. I think they talked about all of this during the exam at the beginning, but I wasn't really. I was just drifting off. I wasn't really paying attention to some things they were saying. I tend to do that a lot, actually. I did that a lot in school, and a lot of people were actually actively there, and I wasn't. It was just the fact that it's like, no, I'll figure it out later. It's like I don't really have to store that into my brain because I know it, like they'll send me something in text. It's like it just seems like a waste of cognitive power, so I just don't like. At least that's how I see it. And a lot of people still. It's another way of just kind of showing courtesy and whatnot. So I guess that's another reason people do that. I feel like I just don't see a good reason for it. So I have other things in my brain that I find to be more important than knowing the exact date in which I'd have to go through a background check or a power test or whatever. It's just it's saved somewhere, and like that's just how I do. That's why I write things down all the time. I'm not going to store that in my memory. Why would I do that? Why would I do that when I have an extension of a brain right here? So I didn't show anything. Yeah, I didn't show anything important on my phone. I just did that out of nowhere without thinking about it. Yeah, so initial processing day, pre-employment drug screen. So yeah, obviously they have a drug screen and the background test and all that, and documents, fingerprints, form. Yeah, so it just seems like fully vaccinated. I had to figure out how to get my documents for vaccination and all that. So shit, I forgot what pharmacy I went to. I would have to call them about that. Fuck. Shit. I should have done that a while ago. I totally forgot to do that. It just seems pretty normal. It's like just like any city stuff, right? They do background checks and drug tests and all that, and I had to be careful about like smoking and all that. So I'm probably I don't even smoke anymore. Really, I don't really have a good reason to smoke. So sometimes I smoke weed, but I think this is a lot more important. So I don't like. It's not something. It's fun to do every once in a while to keep my brain calm, because I feel like there are a lot of background thoughts in my head that I don't really see, and I feel like it's so weird. Like when I smoke weed, it feels like my brain is going slower to the point where I can actually articulate my thoughts more. It's also the same way when it comes to drinking alcohol. I feel like my brain is dampened enough to actually see my thoughts, and I can actually I can slow them down enough to the point where I can keep them in my working memory and look at it for what it is, and then translate that into like verbal expression. If that kind of makes sense. I don't know. My brain's just constantly like when I'm not depressed, like my brain is like super manic. It just does not stop, and it is what it is. It's just the brain that I have, and some people get really confused because like one day I could, or even like sometimes this is in like 2 or 3 hour chunks where I'm like just like this right now, and then all of a sudden I'm just down in the dumps, and it's like I don't fucking know. Like maybe I could get medication on that, but it's not like. I don't really think I need medication for it because it's not really impeding on my functioning capacity. I think it's probably better just to functioning in a day-to-day life in society and whatnot. Yeah, sure, it seems weird and whatnot, but I also, like, I feel like my manic episodes kind of compensate for the days in which I'm depressed, because my manic episodes, I feel like I can work at 200 times, like, more than the normal brain can, right? So it kind of it compensates for the days in which I'm depressed and I don't feel like doing anything, or just want to lay down or just do absolutely nothing. So it kind of evens out. It's just the way. Yeah, I feel like it evens out. or maybe it's even more than depending on the the kind of brain that you have and how efficient it actually is and whatnot. I had to work on my brain efficiency sometimes because I tend to have like these. I just was like just talking about this on my phone, and now I'm talking about my brain and the patterns that it tends to have when it comes to mood swings and whatnot. And I think it's like considered to be, there are like two forms of bipolar. I think I've been kind of looking into that stuff because I'm not really I'm not really knowledgeable in psychology, and I found somebody on the internet that has schizoaffective disorder, and schizoaffective disorder is basically schizophrenia, so psychosis in the brain and like seeing and hearing things and whatnot. It's kind of like bundled nicely with some kind of mood disorder, so like either major depressive disorder, or it could be a form of bipolar 1 or 2, where bipolar 1 is considered to be, sorry, is bipolar 1 like you have manic episodes and depressive episodes, but it's not as strong or something? Like you have hypomania, and then like just, I don't know, I think it tends to be more or less strong or something. I don't know. Let me